now, guys, we have Bitcoin ranging, but we have FOMC coming up, and I can see very clearly that volatility is about to hit the market. Now, it's a big thing, obviously, to see where we're at. We got to give credit to the bulls. Obviously, we've worked our asses off to get here, but we are still holding. You know, it's been quite a while of us holding this area over here of up to 6 weeks. You know, 6 weeks of us holding the support, and yet again, we have another big news event coming out that's going to basically probably give us clear direction within the market. Now, like I said previously, we have a support to hold. If we have that, it's very crucial we get the higher high and all these sort of things. But what we do have is we have Bitcoin sitting just above support. We lose the support, huge ass gap to the downside. We bounce here, we break the trend, huge ass gap to the upside. But one thing that we do want to see is we started to get a little bit of a good glimpse of the stock market starting to perform pretty well. And as you can see over here, this is at a major trend as well when it comes to a possible breakout within the futures, where we finally started breaking through these levels. Now, we have not gotten the higher high just yet, and this is what the actual concern is. But if we can have a good FOMC tomorrow and a good reaction from the market, and we hold this support throughout this crazy little volatile 24 hours that's about to come, we could possibly break in the highs and making our way up there. And if we can have that, that would be amazing. Now, there is a slight concern, and this is why we need to be prepared, because if we do have the pullback of 25K or anything like that, what does that mean for Ethereum? What does it mean for altcoins? Is it worth selling and maybe farming some tokens? There's a lot to talk about in that area. I'm going to give you the two different scenarios, but what we do have on the short time frame is we do also have the Dixie breaking a short trend to the upside. So we have this trend where we've been touching many times. We basically double bottom as things stand. And ultimately, we want to see where is the danger zones of obviously the dollar strengthening too much, because if this has a strong push to the upside, it's probably not good within the stock market and the rest of the market. So we're going to go through altcoins. We're going to go through the two major scenarios. And then I have a very powerful, Josh, if you can put up a poll here, I have a very powerful, riskier trading strategy, but I think it's incredible. It might not make fully sense if I speak about it today. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but I think it's really something powerful for you to be using. So maybe do a poll. Yes, you want me to tell you the strategy or not, and no more wasting time. Let's get into the show. Let's hit it.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Crypto Banter fam, hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember, if you're joining the family, hit the subscribe button, part of the family, like the content, comment below what you like about it, what you want me to talk about more. I use the comments, guys. I use the comments a lot to drive where I go through next on the show. Remember, what we do have is we have Sniper School. We have Code 5 coming up in the next 2 weeks. If you have a look below in the description, you click on the register to Sniper School. It will send you the 3 basic steps: opening an exchange account using one of the Sniper School links, depositing $100 that you get to trade with, and then putting in your user ID, and you get immediate access to the course, the best course. We have 10, 12, 14,000 students that are in our Discords that have attended, have started watching the courses. So we've had a lot of success when it comes to Sniper School. It's going to take your whole game to the next level. Yes, tell us the strategy. Are you ready for it? It's more advanced, guys. It's a very, I would say it's one of my top, if not second best strategy that I've ever discovered ever. With these things. So let me know. So guys, remember, next thing we have the competition. So if you have a look below in the description, you will find the ByBit competition over here. If you've got a ByBit account and you want to have some fun, click on there, join the competition. We have a Tesla, we have all that stuff up for grabs. I've recently taken a small Solana long. So this account did start at $610. So I am down like 10% from 12% from 2 stoppages yesterday. But you can see my stops are tight. And basically, I know we're at the important range that if we're going to bounce, we're going to bounce hard. And if I get stopped here, it's time to look at some shorts. So remember, we have the live daily sessions. If you've done Sniper School, straight after this, you can jump onto Discord, and you're able to join our live sessions where we trade the markets, we teach, we do all that sort of stuff every day. It's all about the community. So let's quickly jump into Bitcoin. Quick update on Bitcoin. So this is the support, guys. Support, basically the areas of the 26,600. A daily close below that now makes the regions of a 25K, 24K, maybe even a 22K to the downside. So for us, what we're paying attention to is as long as we hold this level over here, we still have the possibility of the bullish scenario. You got the gap that is sitting at the 25K, like I said, and then you got the gap that's sitting at 32,000, if not 35, if not later to the 40s. So there's huge gaps between these two areas. And what we can see is volatility is going to enter very soon. And it may be FOMC that actually directs the market in that sort of way. But once we break either of these moves over here, either this trend line, which would probably mean around about another 29K break properly, and a daily close will bring volume within the markets, bring bulls back and start to project very quickly to the upside. Or we do lose the 26,600 on a daily close and it starts volume to increase and starts this bigger sort of pullback. And we got to see, how do we shift and change? Because you got to remember a few things. Smaller time frames, you're going to have these shifts and these moves, right? But higher time frame, if you're looking to sell anything or to protect any of your portfolio on the longer time for sort of view, it has to be a serious decision. Like it has to be a certain decision that this market's going to come down a lot. And that's the big thing, because we still got to remember that that Bitcoin still holds very strong when it comes to the bullish momentum right now. It can literally come all the way down to 23K and still be bullish for the higher targets of up to the 35 to the 40. So if you are making that, you just got to be extremely certain that it is for a good reason. And it may be to farm some Bitcoin, because ultimately, think about it. And I just want to remind you guys again, I am going into slight teacher mode because this is the perfect days to teach when the market's just sitting and waiting. But you got to remember with the market, it's actually very easy when it comes to understanding when to make the money and when not to make the money. And it's very much between the gaps, like I've spoken many times. Bitcoin, if you had to ever short it, or you had to sell Bitcoin and buy it back cheaper so you can make more Bitcoin, you understand how's the process of that and where could those opportunities come? And as you could see, you just got the two major areas and you have gaps in between them. And it's very simple within this, that this would be the farming stage for Bitcoin if that had to happen. Now, it has to be worth your while because, for example, if Bitcoin starts to close the daily below these areas and it starts to show the momentum shift, volume will come down and you'll see acceleration, right? Same way that it happened here. Let me explain it to you. Price goes up. As soon as it gets through a major area, you have acceleration. And it's the same thing here. Price comes down. We lose this area, acceleration. We lose this area, acceleration. We lose this area, acceleration. So what you want to basically do is you want to take these two scenarios now, okay? And you want to understand where is the money to be made on either single one of them. So what I do is I take the major zones for Bitcoin, just the horizontal levels, where it's basically that there. Where's the next area? There. You can see that low over there. Where's the next area? There we go. Okay. So now I understand the major areas of where price will accelerate. Okay. So if we start losing this low over here, it's about me now starting to have a game plan if we decide to go into this depression, right? This downside for a little while and things like that. But firstly, what I'm just doing is I'm setting my charts up to understand where do I make the money? Where does price increase? Where should I be ready with my trade? And all these sort of things like that. This is where the important part comes in. And it's all between these gaps. Now, what the rule is about this is you don't want to enter trades in the gap. That's not the goal. The goal is to have the trade ready by the time an area is last year, you're in the trade to make the money. So for example, if Bitcoin loses the 26,500 level and it closes, it's showing an increase down to possibly the 24,000. Now, for you as a trader or someone that's hardly in Bitcoin, and you're thinking, okay, if this does happen, first scenario, I have an opportunity to make 10% more Bitcoin. Okay. Second scenario is we decide to go to the next level. From here, we decide to go there. Okay, maybe there's a 25% more chance to make Bitcoin. Go to the next one. Okay, maybe it's a 35, 40% chance. So now you understand the way it would basically happen, right? Now, if you're okay with the first scenario and price starts to play out. So for example, we lose this level and we come down. Amazing. And we start to go sideways here. If we break that trend to the upside, that's it. You're back in, you're buying Bitcoin on support, you farmed your 10% Bitcoin, and now you go on strong. Until that major line is broken is when you start focusing again. Okay, but you just start to understand where you basically make. Or we come down, we hover here a bit, and we do this. Okay, hold your short or hold your dollars, hold your cash. Bitcoin's going cheaper. Comes down here, makes a flag, breaks to the upside. Okay, amazing. Take my profits, get back into my Bitcoin. Amazing. Or we break the bottom, same thing. We come down, we break the bottom, and we move down. So one big thing I just want to explain to you about these things is these gaps are always going to be your friend, and it's always going to understand where you make the money, because the same thing happens when it comes to the upside. On the upside, you basically jump in here and you're like, okay, where's the gaps that I'll make cash? There's over there. And if we zoom out more, let's go look at the next level. So this falls all part of this little area over here. Amazing. That's where I'll make cash. And where's the next level after that? Okay, it's basically that 37. There's the next area I'll make cash to the upside. So now what you do is you have the two understandings of where you can make cash there if the bullish scenario plays out, and where's the next level to play out after that. Now, guys, this will help you when it comes to adding to positions, when de-risking, all these sort of things to happen. You're starting to understand that these blocks is where you prep and build your trade. Same if you are a short-term trader and all these sort of things. These are the areas you build your actual trades. Nothing above that. So it's the same thing over here. All of a sudden, Bitcoin, it decides to do this bullish scenario, right? Breaks up here, tests, lower high, and it breaks. Amazing. You're in your longs. Your stops at the bottom. It gets here. It fights. We break the trend. Amazing. You're taking profits on your longs. Okay, so this works on all different time frames, all different things, but it's about understanding the gaps and where you actually make money. So if this price goes up here and makes a flag and it decides to break that flag to the upside, amazing. You hold on stronger. You just want to know where is the time where I make dollars versus where do I build positions. A lot of people make the mistake by, and especially a lot of you guys, and I'm being honest with you guys now, you're making very silly mistakes. And it's not all of you, but some of you definitely are, is you're going to wait for Bitcoin to do this, and then you're going to jump in. I know you guys. I read the things. I see what everyone does here. You're going to buy when it's going. And that's the thing. You're buying in between the gaps. And this is why it's like such a mess, because you're getting in on this pump. You know, where was the time to get in? Was there. And if you got in there, you'll still be break even right now. And that's the big thing about being realistic with yourself. Now, another thing that I want to explain to you guys, should I give the advanced trading strategy? Should I do it now? Must I do it right now before I jump into the rest of the coins and all these sort of things? Yes or no? Just pop in the comments there. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And then you have to like this video. You have to like this video for me to jump into the advanced strategy, because I think it's very powerful. I really, really do think it's powerful. I want to have a look at my little Solana long. Oh, let me give you guys the actual trade, by the way. So this, for me, it's a make or break right now when it's 90% of people say yes. Amazing. So this is the trade that I'm taking in the competition right now. The bullish scenario, because I know if I get stopped here now, I'm getting ready for shorts for the big bear scenario, because that's probably if Bitcoin loses the area. But basically, we've had Solana come down for a while now. We're starting to break 1 hour trends. If we look at the RSIs, so if we jump into the RSIs over here, 4 hours at the bottom, we have a look at 8 hour. Heading to the bottom too. So for me, I'm looking at a temporary bounce. I'm not playing it full. Yeah, guys, under 600 likes. I don't think we deserve to do the advanced strategy if we don't get more likes. But while I'm giving this trade, hit that like button, guys. Then I know. If we get 1,000 likes, I'll share the strategy. Let me know, Josh. But what I'm basically looking at here is I'm still not playing the crazy bullish scenario. But ultimately, I'm playing this and maybe for that after. But for me, this looks like a really good trade at the moment. The risk to reward looks amazing. So what I've done for you guys is I've given you guys the full trade, and I've given you a basic system like this. And this is for me to keep warm. It's important to keep warm when the market's boring. Take a trading account, keep warm, keep your eye on the game. Because when the market wakes up and you're cold, it's like being an athlete, right? You got to keep warm to run on the field and do stuff. But if you're sitting on the sideline and all of a sudden things wake up and you got to go run, you're going to pull a hamstring. So if you look here, what I'm looking at, short-term trade, why I like this trade so much is the risk to reward is 1 to 8. It's even higher, to be honest, at where you're at right now. If we take it over here, it's 1 to 13, guys. 1 to 13. So 0.5% stop loss, 7 to 7.5% is my reward on this trade. So you can see my 7%, my small thing. There's my entry zone. There's my stop loss. So if you want to take a photo of it right now, and you will also find this on Discord. So if you go on our Discord and you go to the show updates, you will find this trade over there too if you're on our Discord. I'm not sure if it's 100% the VIP. Tomorrow, we actually got Josh coming up and sharing this whole Discord with you guys. You can see how powerful it is. But there's the current trade that I'm taking, guys, at the moment. If it gets stopped, very small stoppage, but then it's time to start prepping for some big downside, in my opinion. This is like sort of where I want to see a little bit of a pump into FOMC. Okay, so let me share the strategy, guys. Have we got it? Did you get the trade? Amazing. Okay, cool. So this strategy, before I jump into the alts, I want to teach you guys this because it's amazing. Now, it does come with leverage. I do use this with leverage, but you don't have to use leverage. And I'll show you that now. So if you jump on here to your ByBit or anything like that, you don't have to use any leverage. You can literally jump to a 1x. Okay, but ByBit, what I like about this feature and what I like that it does is the cross mode. Now, guys, disclaimer, well, not disclaimer, but I just want to warn you here. If you're using the cross mode on leverage, do not have multiple coins. One token, one trade. Why? Because what cross allows you to do is it allows you to, it basically uses all the money that's in that account. Okay. Now, this doesn't affect your spot, doesn't affect anything else, but it uses all the money that's in there, but it also allows you to re-add it. So, for example, if I enter a trade now where I have $200 on a 10x, okay, and I go into like $100 profit, I can take that $100 and re-add it to my position without closing. So this strategy that I'm about to teach you, you know, we think that we have to make 3 or 5 trades to, let's say, double our money, right? Now, this strategy is powerful because we can take 3 trades inside of 1 trade. And that's the beautiful thing about it, that I don't have to keep focusing on closing a trade and reopening and all these sort of things, right? So remember, you can use a 1x. You don't have to use leverage. So even as a spot trader, you can use the 1x thing. You don't have to borrow any money, anything like that. But for this example, I am going to be using, let's say, for example, I'm going to use a 10. Because this is I'm just going to be honest that this is the strategy that I use. And this is the strategy that I'm going to be using in this competition too. And there's things like that. So 10x, right? Now, if you have a look, let's jump into the chart here. And let me show you how this basically works. So the first thing that I want to quickly do is I just want to get a little bit of understanding of where this token is. High time frame. Where is it on these sort of things? Yeah, free alpha, guys. Good alpha here. I promise you good alpha. Okay. So what I basically have is I go over here and I got the main trend line. You know, where I could really see Solana start moving to the upside. Remember, guys, this can be any token. What I do secondly above that is I now highlight the gaps. Okay, so I have this trend here and I have this trend over here. Now, this works long or short. Okay, then what I have after that is I put in my gaps. So, for example, as the bullish scenario, I'm going to use the bullish scenario as the example. And I'll show you guys the bearish one too. Over here, and then basically after that, where's my next areas to the upside? Okay, there's my gap. Hold on. There we go. There's the gap. And where's the next gap to the upside? There we go. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys focus on making the big trade. So what I mean by that is you basically buy right now and you want to make this whole trade. Okay. You want to make all the money to $30 and things like that. What I teach you is we want to take 3 trades inside of that single trade. So you're still making the one, but where I actually want to make the money is only here. That's the only part that I actually want to make profits and make money. Okay. Now, if you have a look over here, if I zoom in now, okay, I now know where's the areas that we're going to form the next patterns or the next areas we're going to start to slow down. Okay. So what I do is I draw the small time trend over here and now I long. Okay. Now, longing in my head, I need to understand what's going to happen next because I got this resistance over here, which is the trend line. So for me, if price breaks here, we're going here, we're going to fight. We're either going to reject or if we break through, we're going to break, right? These are the areas that's going to start to slow. So what I do is I start off my trade here, let's say on a 5x. So I don't do the whole 10x. Why? Because if it goes wrong and it stops, I want very minimal losses. So for example, if I take this over here now and I do $200, okay, and I do this on a 5x. So I take this on a 5x. What does that mean, guys? It means I'm actually playing with a $1,000 position, right? Amazing. So what I decide to do is, okay, it's good. It's a great start. We smash the likes up to 1K. do that. But what happens if I can use this push just to this trend line to get my position size bigger? Okay, and if I can use this one over here to get to position size bigger, this one bigger, and only have to make profits on this last leg to the upside. Let me just show you the power of what this actually means. That basically means if we take this trade from here and I get the trade right, I end up making 5%. Okay, but as we break this trend line over here and we start to make our way up, I've made 5% now. So automatically what that's going to do is it's going to give me profits that I've made. So you'll see over here, every time you make profits in a win or a loss, it actually becomes available, guys. So it means you're able to add it to the position. The only difference that it's going to do is it's going to move your actual entry price. So remember, if I enter this trade right now, this is my entry price. I've just entered the trade. Amazing. My stop loss is just below. So I've entered the trade. All of a sudden, we break trend. Now what I'm able to do is I'm able to higher. So I'm able to go from my 5x and go change it to a 7x. Okay? Because you can change it. You can change your actual thing. By me doing that and adding it to 7x, it's giving me more liquidity to make my position size bigger. So I can borrow more money and I can buy in more. Now, the goal of this is to always make sure that your entry price is looked after. So if you do go higher leverage, you want to buy this up, because you'll see as you buy in more money, it starts to get your entry starts to raise up. But ultimately, you always just want to keep it where your stop loss is going to be above it. You want to get your risk to zero. But now all of a sudden, let me keep the same example of 5x. Now all of a sudden I go 5% up. Okay, if I take $1,000, so it's $50 profit. I'm able to use that $50 because when we get here, we're going to make a flag, right? As soon as we break this flag to the upside, and I know we're going to the next area, I can take that $50 profit and buy into the position size, which means now all of a sudden this becomes $250 on a 5x. What has that done for me? It's now giving me more money, right? Making my position size bigger. Fantastic. Then what happens is as we break trend to the upside, because my entry is here, when I'm buying in, this starts to raise up. Now, the goal is to always keep your entry price below these areas of where you add to your positions. As long as you keep it below, and when we break the trend to the upside, we should be going up, right? So you always just want your entry price here, and you want your stop loss always just above it. So guys, like I said, it's advanced. It is going to take you a little bit of time to get it. So make sure you rewatch and you just understand what I'm trying to say here. Let's just put your stop loss. So your stop loss is always above. So what I've done is I've used the profits, okay? But what's beautiful about this now is because my entry is here, if I put that $50 in, it will only lift my entry here. Now I go and I change my leverage, okay? And I change this to 8x. So people always jump into leverage and they start with 10x. They start at 20x. No, I say start with 2x, 3x, and build your leverage up. Because as long as your entry is up and your stop loss is above it, you got no risk. So you're using profits. Remember, this is profit, guys. You're in profit. You're just deciding to use that profit to make your position size bigger for the next push. Okay, so you're not doing anything else than basically doing that. So now that I see I added that in, I can change this to a higher X, right? Let's say around about an 8x. What does that do for my main position size? So let me jump in here. So it's 250 times 8. Amazing. Now I have a $2,000 position. Fantastic. Now all of a sudden, from here, my entry price is now moved up, right? Because I've added all the money in. Now I have a $2,000 position. Now we break up to the next one. What do we do over here? We form a flag. I put my flag in over there. Amazing. We break it to the upside. Now, guess what? I'm in profit yet again. There's my profit. I have a choice. Either I take that profit cash and I get out of the trade, or I can use that profit because we're breaking a trend to the upside. I know where the next gap is of where I can make money, and I can make my position size bigger. So all of a sudden from here, we now break out from my entry over there and we do another 5%. So what is 5% of $2,000? It's $100, right? So what I'm basically able to do now is I'm able to take that $100 and add it into the position. So now all of a sudden I'm sitting on $350 on an 8x. What does that do for my entry price? It brings my entry price up. Now I still see there's a gap. Now guys, I never go over 10x. I never, join sniper school. This is where it all happens. I never go over 10x. 10x is my max, okay? Now, if I see that there's still a gap over here, I can change this to, it's all about keeping your entry position below the flags. That's all that you want. And you never, there's a point where you cap it, where you stop. You don't go all the way to 20x. You don't get all of that. But basically now, I'm at that point now where it's a 10x now. Okay, amazing. It brings all my entry up here now. Guys, what's the size of my position now? Now, all of a sudden, I have, let me just go back in here. There we go. So now my position size is sitting at $3,500. My position size. So you see what I did? I basically used my 2 little pushes of profits. I zoomed out. I saw where the real big move is. And now from here, we break. And this is the last little bit of the trade that I actually want to make the money. So from here we go, and we go all the way up to this area, and we make 10%. Amazing. Now from that 10%, what do I make? I make $350. So ultimately, I started off with $200. So remember, you could have taken one trade to do that. The only problem is that you would have taken a 5x, your position size would never have gotten bigger, and you would have made half the results of what you actually got now. So you had $200, which is now plus the $350. Now you have a $550 position. Amazing. Now what you do the same thing. Now, for example, over here now, guess what? We start to break it to the downside. Okay, amazing. Start my 3x short here. Come down, form a flag. Okay, amazing. We break it to the downside. Okay, cool. Go to 7x. Keep my entry here. Keep my stop loss here. Goes down, forms another flag, breaks it again. Amazing. Make it a 10x. And all I need is this last little bit. Now, what this strategy teaches you, it teaches you that you take 2 trades inside of your one major trade, and this is how you double the money. This is how you double your capital in every trade. What was beautiful about this is I never needed this to be a 30%, 40% trade, where you would usually need that within that. I just needed this to be a 7, 8, 9% trade. And it got me to my target. It more than doubled, guys. It nearly tripled my money on that one. Now, remember when it comes down to trading, you want to say, okay, cool, I have $100. And to any of you that are out there that want to join this journey now, I don't care if you have $100,000. I don't care if you got $1 million. Start with $100. Every single one of you. Because you can build it crazy. Like you can build it and that's it. You've only ever put in $100, $50, $20, whatever you want. Very small amounts. But what it basically teaches you is you always sit and you're like, I have $100. I need to make $1 million. What I teach you is 100, 200, 200, 400, 400, 800, 800, 1,600, 1,600, and you're looking, it's like 10 steps and you're at that big goal. So what I teach you is this over here is step 1. The step 1 was to get your $200 to $400. This one got you to $550. What's the next step now? $550 to $1,000. $1,000 to $2,000. And every single time you're doing 2 trades inside of a big trade. It's not huge percentages. And if it's the downside, it's the exact same thing. So what does this basically mean? It means this is where you make your money. This is where you build your position. Stop giving a crap. If the market goes down, guys, we go. Compounding, yes, but limited compounding. Not this thing goes to 20K, to 20X, and you just hold this thing for the moon. It's going to whip you. It's not even going to whip your ass because you got your stop loss in at your entry. It's just going to, one day it's going to come and erase all your hard work for like 2 weeks. That's why it has to be capped. But what I'm trying to explain to you is slowing down to speed up is how you do it. If you want to go from $100 to $100 to $100,000, you do it like this. From here, 100 to 200, 200 to 400, 400 to 800, 800,000. That's how you build your money. You go step-for-step method, and you go smaller ranges, and you go into this. So, guys, you can do this with the 1x. You can do it with anything like that. I don't mind leverage as long as my stop loss is above my entry and I'm not risking any money. Then I'm okay with leverage. I have no better sort of no problem when it actually comes to that. So that's a very powerful strategy that I'm going to be speaking a lot more on. I'll go a lot more on it tomorrow. And things like that. But guys, it is incredible what this has done for me in the past. I think it'll be incredible for you to learn the skill. Take your time on it and understand it. Let's quickly jump back in over here. I just want to give you guys the scenarios of where the market's at right now. So there's two major players going to FOMC, guys. All your altcoins are sitting on major trend lines, a lot of them, and this is the play. We're either going to hit a hard-ass bounce, where you're going to use the upward strategy that I just taught you. You can do this with spot. You can do it with all of them. Guys, it's powerful. I promise you, it's very powerful. So we have this play over here, bullish scenario. I just taught you the method. Bearish scenario, we lose the main trend. We test down. Here's the gaps. So if you want to know when do I build to my positions, here's where you'll build. Here's where you'll build. Here's where you build. All the gaps. But these are the areas for Solana. If we start losing these trends now, you do have $15 on the card again. We even have $10 on the card again. I don't want to hear about the morning. If you're looking, I spoke yesterday about risk to reward. That portfolio that I gave to you guys, if we go anywhere here and you're not buying, I don't feel bad. Like, I really don't. You need to start looking at these portfolios as a big thing of the bull run, because it starts tomorrow and you're not in. I don't feel bad, guys. It's very important for us to understand that. So a lot of the tokens are basically in this play, and same as Bitcoin. Either huge ass bounce now, break of trend, or we lose the bottom and we accelerate to the downside. So you can see this with a lot of the tokens here. They're all in the area now where they're about to either extremely flip bullish quickly, or we are going to lose the lows and start going incredibly bearish. And that's where we're at the moment when it comes to look at them. They're all just hovering on these major trend lines as we speak. So it's big, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing the FOMC live. And we're going to jump on and see exactly where the market moves, what it does, and it's time to just rectify on those strategies. Have a fantastic day. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you on tomorrow's show. Much love, Banter fam.